Hey, how we doing? I'm Andy. This is Spiders. Although today there's no spiders involved, we're actually going to be looking at the Communal that I picked up before Christmas, which was the Hadurus arizonensis, the desert hairy scorpion, and the Asbolus verrucosus, the blue death feigning beetles. So yeah, this one, it took me a little while doing this. I had to change a couple of things because I had an image in my head and then it just didn't quite work out, but you'll see that in the video in a minute. But yeah, basically, anyone that knows me knows I'm a bit of a Star Wars geek. So I was going for a Tatooine pod racer sort of look on this one. I think I pulled it off, if I'm honest. I don't know. Let me know what you think, drop it in the comments and whatnot once you've had a look. And in fact, do you know what, I'm just going to shut up and I'll show you the video and then you can see for yourself. Cheers. Right, so for this one I'm using the Exoterra desert sand or desert stone mix with the sand and the clay. I went for the red version because again I want that Tatooine sort of look. I did have to build it up and break it down and build it up. Now, I had an image in my head, but if I'm honest, what I found was, once this was done and all set, I actually found, although it looked pretty good, it looked more like a Martian landscape than what I was actually going for. So you see, I've got the arches, which was something that I was hoping to get, but I found that having that one sort of in the middle, it didn't leave a great deal of space at the other end, so I found that I wasn't happy with it and I made some changes. So what I did is I took that first arch out that you can see, and there we are. So I took that first arch out and I built up on the side a little bank, so it's more like a berm what you get on a bike race track. You can see from the top where that sort of archway was. I'm going to replace that with a piece of cork bark, and here you can see that we have our first sort of piece of decoration in place. We have a little pod racer that's crashed, and then we have a second one. This is Sebulba's, as in line with the film. He's stacked it, hit the wall. Yeah, just those daft little things like that make it look cool. And here we are, just putting in the final pieces, which is a couple of pod racers. Now these are actually micro machines that I picked up from eBay. They're all sort of bought, they were for spares and repairs. There was a couple of them that still had the wheels attached and things like that. But yeah, the majority of this was just spares and repairs that I'm just sort of recycling and reusing a bit like. So yeah, there we have it. There's the enclosure, bit of an overhead view. You see here, this piece of cork is more just as a little hide for the scorpion or the beetles. It's not a massive scorpion, so it should be able to get under there. And then we've got this little piece here that'll, I suppose it'll work as both a bridge and a hide as well. And there you can see the view, a couple of nice little photographs just to show it off. This is what's going to be going in there. This is the blue death feigning beetles. Now there was 2 in the Communal when I bought it, but I did already have 4, so I've just put them all together. You see one of them there. I believe this one might be the male. I've been doing a bit of reading up on how to sex these, and from what I understand, the males are the smaller ones, and on their antennae they have sort of little red fuzzy hairs that you can't pick up on the females. And there we have our scorpion. So this one can be a bit feisty. I tend to leave it alone, as is best really. I have noticed though its interactions with the beetles are really cool. If anything, I'd say the beetles bully it rather than it sort of annoying them. So yeah, just time to get this one cupped up, as you can see there. So quick movements, that tail went straight up. So we just get this one catch cupped and then we can move on to getting these beetles collected. So there we have them all 6 of them. There is a couple of them plain dead in there. You see the one on the left. So now what I decided was this piece of cork bark was actually in the other enclosure with them, but it just fitted ideally in that corner and offered an extra hiding option, so I decided to put that in there. And now we're going to get to getting these animals in this setup. So first up, I'm going to put the scorpion in, and as you'll see, it comes out pretty easy of its own accord. This is really nice little scorpion. Now, in the process of making this video and recording everything, I did send some photos off to some friends of mine, and I had a response from Greg, 8 Legs 4 Wheels, who confirmed that this is actually a male for me. So Greg knows a hell of a lot more about scorpions than I do myself, and yeah, please do yourself a favour and go check out his channel. He hasn't done many videos over the last year or so, but there is like a back catalogue there that I'm sure there'll be something on there that'll catch your interest. So as we can see, this one just moving around, getting some level of its own bearings on where it is and checking out its new enclosure. And now we'll put in these beetles. Again, I thought I'd just do as I did with the scorpion. I'll put them onto this log because it gives them a central sort of position to move away from, and also it gives us a good chance to see them on the camera, doesn't it? So yeah, there we go, we can see these. Now, these are really easy to care for, really hardy. Just keep them dry is basically it. Feed them, I feed them some bits of leftover cricket or mealworms, pre-killed mealworms and crickets, and bits of veg, various things, a bit of carrot every now and again just to give them some sort of moisture. But yeah, what you need to do is keep the humidity in the tank right down. Otherwise you'll notice that that blue colour on them, well, that's actually like a wax, and that will go dark and they'll appear more of a navy blue colour. So you'll know if your humidity is too high, and then you can do something about it. As things are with these, they seem to be doing alright. I haven't had any issues with them so far, and if I'm honest, I don't expect to have too many issues going forward. There's a nice big hole on the top of the lid that I made with a mesh on it. I think it's about 6 by 4 inches, so there's plenty of sort of airflow in the room, and I haven't had any issues humidity wise so far. And here we have a little example of one of those beetles bullying the scorpion. Like, come on mate, shift your ass, we're coming through. have a couple of views of the scorpion under the black light. It's amazing how they appear under these lights, and also offers a really good opportunity to get some cracking photos. But yeah, that is the Hadrurus asbolosus Communal. I hope you like the build, I hope you like what you've seen, and I'll keep you updated as time goes on. Yeah, so like I say, it's that was my sort of rendition of an enclosure depicting the pod racer scene from the Phantom Menace. He said they'd have to change things up. I was quite impressed with how it turned out in the end, but then again, I suppose I'm going to be biased. You know, everything's doing really well in there. In fact, I'll put a bit of video over the top of this now, and you'll see you've got the few of the death feigners here just in the corner. This is about a week or so later. You can see Sebulba has been well and truly buried. Our scorpion is just sitting there outside the cork bark, but under that little ridge that I'd put in. Now you can see this is just some of the excavation that they've done themselves as they've been moving around. The bottom's filled up with a bit more rubble, and you can see to the left hand side there they've actually dug that, sort of excavated it right out, where this beetle is, all the way back to the glass. The glass has been exposed in some parts there, so they are getting on pretty well with it, and like I say, I just leave them to it. They do their own thing, their own wandering, their own just being themselves, both the beetles and the scorpions. That's made a massive difference already to the landscape, but yeah, I'm still sort of happy with how it turned out. And you see that one just disappearing away there, but it's, yeah, it was a bit of a, I don't know, it was just one of those daft things I got in my head, and I thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, because that's my blue death feigning beetle and desert hairy scorpion communal, now rehoused into my own little Star Wars setup. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like what you've seen. If you did, you know, all the subscribe, that's all downstairs. You know what to do. I'm not going to go through that, and I'll catch you on in the next one. Cheers. Ta-ra.